I'm currently leaving this terrible, terrible city. I have to focus on getting out of this parking lot more than anything. So, yeah. Today was kind of a bust. Like, well, not totally a bust, but some things happened with Uber today that, it's happened before and I've let it go because they have very sneaky ways of getting a little extra, keeping more profits than what they should. So, if, like, I'll just explain what happened. I get one order that's for $14 and the distance is like 8 miles. I take it, and as I'm going to pick it up, I get another ding that says plus 0 miles, $9. That's amazing. All day I'll deliver more of your food. So I got both orders and I'm ready to go. So the first order that I drop off, I'm thinking, well, they're probably going to be, it says plus 0 miles. So I assume that it's going to be for the same place, if not, a door down. No big deal. I drop off one, and after I drop it off, it alerts me that the next trip is 5 miles away. Okay. So it wasn't 0 miles away, as initially quoted. Because, see, what people forget is that every time they're sending you an offer, that's a contract. My contract was to drive 0 extra miles, and Uber didn't follow through with that. They didn't give me the proper information. So I didn't really have everything that I needed in order to make an informed decision about this order. I still made $9 off of it, and most people would be like, well, you were already there, you made $9. That's not the point. The point is that in order for me to make an informed decision, I have to have all the information. So by them making me drive an extra 5 miles on top of that 8 miles that I drove, that's already roughly 12 miles out of the way. Not even in the city anymore. Near absolutely nothing. Had I known that distance, where that place was, I would have probably not taken it because it was going to put me further out. They like to neglect to give you this information because they know that no one's going to take it. Not for the price that they're offering. So what they're doing is obfuscating the actual mileage that you'll be driving in an attempt to get you out there. And again, most people, they're like, well, I was already out here and it's only farther than, 5 miles. So for 5 miles, I made $9 off of it. Negative. The reason why this is so important is because Uber made all of the fees that Uber had to pay for that delivery, the customer actually, all of the fees that the customer had to pay in order to get their delivery sent out that far, Uber pockets it. That money doesn't trickle down to the driver. It goes directly to Uber. And they got it done cheaper because they had me going out that way already. And they thought, well, we can get it cheaper. We can get it delivered cheaper because we're already sending him out that way. Which is great for them, but not so much for me because they're giving me less money, or potentially another driver, because they're not telling you the full amount. That's very shady. Very, very, very shady. But yeah, like, I don't understand why. And this has happened to me before, where they've been dishonest about the actual distance whenever they gave me when it's a double stack order. And I've let it go because I'm like, okay, well, I've made the money off of it. Now that I realize what they're doing, and I realize that they're not paying me what that trip's really worth, because no one would have taken no one would have taken a 13-mile for $9. Like, there's no driver out there that would do that. If you are that driver, stop. Go do anything else. Go find another form of employment, because this ain't it. You're ruining it for everybody. But all those fees that you're paying are for nothing whenever you realize that you don't get it. As a customer, you're not going to get your order cheaper because someone else is going out there. They're not going to inform you that, hey, since we doubled this up with another driver, we had to actually pay less to get it to you. So, hey, we're going to give you a deal. No. It doesn't work that way for you. The only one that benefits in that situation. Call. And I'm like, look, I just did a double order because they were going to the same address, it seemed. It said plus 0 miles on the second order. Unfortunately, when I went to drop off, after I dropped off the first order, it informed me that the next delivery would be 5 miles away. That's more than plus 0 miles. I do believe that, someone should look into this. He didn't question it. He simply said, let me look. He briefly looked. He didn't even ask for the order number or anything. He looks at it and says, okay, we're going to give you $4 for that trip. for X dollars. He said, were you able to deliver it? I said, of course I was able to deliver it. I said, but that's not the point. If I have to drive 5 miles, I need to know the mileage before I accept it. If it says +0, I assume that it's +0 at the same location or across the road or somewhere in the vicinity, but less than 1 mile. Although they do put like 0.2, I think is the lowest that they go. He didn't question it. He just gave me the money and that's that. Which is great, but still, why do I have to call? And how many other contractors are not calling when things like this happen? Something else that's been happening. Or, I mean, really, this has been going on since the pandemic. Notice that this became a big thing. There's not one particular platform that's doing this. I just know that there's one that's really bad, and I'm not going to mention who it is. But I'm sure that anyone who drives knows which one it is. So, if I'm driving, we'll use 8. If I'm driving 8 miles, generally I get paid $1 a mile. That's just, seems to be the way that it goes. At least $1 a mile. So, we'll just use Uber as an example. Uber is going to pay me, if the customer does not tip, Uber pays me $8 for that trip. So, no issue. If the customer tips, say, $4, then you would think that trip would be worth, sorry, driving on the interstate and doing math, $12. You'd be wrong. The tip should be extra, but that's not how it works, because there is no set in stone mileage that they're going to give you. What they're going to do is they're going to take that $4 that the customer tipped you extra for, let's say, driving all 8 miles out there, and they're going to deduct it from the amount that Uber actually pays you. So instead of them paying you $8, they're now only going to turn over 4 of those dollars from the total that the customer paid, and use the $4 in the tip to make it look as though you're making $1 a mile. Tip should be extra. Tip is extra incentive for me to do it, not base pay. This is a big problem that's been going on since it got really bad during the pandemic. It got very bad, where I could compare, because there were a lot of people that were just fresh to the system, and they wanted to make sure that I was getting my tips. I saw these people daily. Some people, like, same people. And let's just say that this is pretty much every one of the platforms. This is how they're turning more of a profit than they're letting on. Because if a customer is tipping, that means less money that they have to pay out of pocket to pay their contractors, which is not okay. That's definitely not okay. No one's really saying anything about this, but this is a big issue. Where's everybody at, man? I know you've got receipts for this. I know I can't be the only person that's noticed this. The same trip, the same exact trip that I can make every single day, and I can have a customer tip me differently each time, and I can see that the base pay will be less depending on how the customer is tipping. How does that make sense? How is that a stable model for anyone? I don't know. It just seems really, really odd that no one is bringing, like, no one's bringing this, no one's making a big deal about this. Is it just like, is it because no one's really paying attention to how much they're making? Like, am I the only person that sees this? There's got to be more people. This is happening at least, I mean, because I have customers that tip really, really well because they are so far out. They don't have anything in the area, and they know that I have to drive quite a distance to get to them. So they'll tip like $14. Why is it that the delivery company is only paying $2? They're way out in the middle of nowhere. So it looks like, oh man, like, why has no one brought this up? Next time you have a long trip or you have a big tip, see how much the company's paying. I don't know if you can do that on every single delivery app. I know that the base pay is present on Uber, but I just don't understand how no one's made this a bigger issue than what it is.